Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. My name is Maryam. I'm the host of Television, and with every show that I do, I always say I'm so excited with everyone that I do, because with every guest that I have, to me, they're always the best guests, local heroes who are, who's doing their things. And so today, I'm excited. And I always say, you know what, maybe I should change the title from television to I'm excited, but no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just excited, okay? So I'm excited today because I have another young lady who is going to tell us her story about her life transformation. And I'm gonna let you introduce yourself so we can get started.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Well, again, my name is Brooke Jones. I'm the owner of Light Tower Resume Writing and Career Coaching. I opened up my business last year to 2021,
Okay.
but I've been doing this for a long time.
Now, when you say you're doing this, what is this that you're doing?
I have been writing resumes for a long time.
Okay.
We actually do more than just writing resumes. So I do resume workshops, career coaching, interview prep. So, if you have an interview coming up, call me first. I'll take you through all the steps and kind of challenge you on what type of answers you have and things like that. So, and here we are.
Okay, so now I met you through Tawanda, who is the owner of this beautiful facility that I'm in, broadcasting my show from this beautiful facility. I'm really happy to be here. And so, as a matter of fact, she was interviewed today as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my homegirl.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she told me, she said, when I was telling her about the show, and I wanted her to come on, she said, well, you need to also interview Brooke too. I said, well, who is Brooke? So she told me something, but I said, okay, well, let me call and talk to her and see what's up.
Yeah.
So
it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So, and I'm very happy to hear that you have your business that you started last year. So I love seeing young people getting into businesses and everything, because that is what it is about.
Yes, thank you.
But what I also love is that you and I discussed some of your life transformations that was going on, that has been going on in your life. So do you want to share with the audience some of those things?
Sure. So like I said, I'm the owner of Light Tower Resume Writing, and
First of all, how did you get that name, Light Tower?
So it does have a significance.
Okay.
I am a Christian, and I do want to be the light, the light for Christ. So a light is actually something that makes vision possible. And Light Tower, a tower meaning like surpass, great heights. So I want to help people, see the direction where they want to go in their careers and surpass, where they are. So that's how I came up with Light Tower.
Okay. Resume
writing, and career coaching.
Okay.
So some of us every day go to work at a job we can't stand, so it's like, is this the direction where you want to go? What did God call you to do? What do you like doing? I don't just look at your resume and say, okay, I'll redo it. I kind of challenge them to think, like, where do you want to be right now? Like, what is your end goal? So I even help people kind of transition out of the field that they're in.
Okay.
The reason why I'm doing resume writing, because I've had so many jobs in my life. Like, if anybody don't know you, they'll say, Brooke, she had 3 jobs, man. I first started working when I was 14. And believe it or not, I worked at a Jewish synagogue daycare center.
Okay.
And I actually worked in 3 daycare centers. But my first job was when I was 14, as soon as I turned 14. And I've had so many jobs over the years. And I'm saying, like, let me use my experience to help people. But a little bit personal story. My parents, they fell victim to the heroin epidemic in the 70s.
Okay.
And so more so my mother. And so she struggled for years with her addiction. And as a young child, it just became very dangerous for me and my sister. So I guess I'm around 7 years old. My grandparents got custody of me and my sister because we were just exposed to a lot of danger, paraphernalia, different people coming in and out of the apartment. And God.
So she was using or selling? Or
using.
Both? Oh, okay,
yeah,
using. Okay.
Using. She battled her drug addiction for a while. Okay. She would get clean and go back and forth like that, but it just got too heavy. And so me and my sister moved with my grandparents, which was a blessing. And we were in a lot of danger with different people coming in and out, and just her being incoherent. And that's why I say, like, I know God protected me, yes, even from a small child. And then I was raised in a beautiful home, great school system. And eventually my mother did contract HIV.
Okay.
And she died of AIDS when I was 12.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of where
She passed away with AIDS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
And that's where my story kind of gets rocky, just dealing with that and just having that void in my life. I did go to college,
okay,
but I did not finish college. That's a long story, but...
Why didn't you finish college?
I got into an altercation with a family member.
Okay.
And my grandparents at the time, they basically disowned me. So
the grandparents who raised you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they disowned me from the altercation I had with that family member. So I had to drop out of school, start all over with basically nothing when I was 19.
All right.
So that's where I was doing all different types of odds and end jobs, Dunkin' Donuts, IHOP. I was just doing anything. And, growing up, I had a family that I knew from a friend of mine, and they were Christians. And, I would go to church with them sometimes, and they introduced me to church and prayer and things like that, but I wasn't, ready for it. But, when I was getting older, I was saying, there's so much going on, only God can help me, because I started just living for the day, putting my life in danger. I didn't have that authority over me,
right,
once my family wasn't around. But God protected me so many times. And that's why I say when I look over my story, it's only the hand of God that really brought me back in. So fast forward, I'm 24, and I gave my life to Christ. That I went to that church where that family was, and I surrendered to Christ.
Okay.
However, I got into some trouble. I spent a week in jail.
Right.
That's really where, after that, I just gave my life to God. And ever since then, he's just been positioning me in different places, corporate America. So.
Okay. All right. Everybody has a story. And for me, it's about the stories that help to make a difference in people's lives. And listening to your story, I remember when the drug epidemic came about, and the things that was happening, and how so many of our families were destroyed by those drugs that was infused by the government, that brought it into our neighborhoods, and all the things that they had to go through. And as I say, grow through. So what you were doing on your trajectory of finding who you were, you had to go through each step. Like Bishop T.D. Jakes says one thing that I really like about what he says. He says that if you miss a step, you have to go back and repeat that step. And so we have to go through the steps to get to where you are right now, to be able to tell us your story. Because one thing about us, when we go through things, we don't look like what we go through.
Definitely.
So, So
Absolutely.
You only told us just a tidbit.
I'm trying to keep it.
No. That's okay though. But the fact that you told us just a tidbit, that tidbit, you don't look like what you went through. And I can imagine all the stuff that you went through. But the fact that God made it possible for you to go through it and to now share your story, that I'm praying that it's going to help other people who've gone through it, who've lost a family member because of drugs, because of AIDS, because of the lifestyle that they were living. And fortunately, you were only incarcerated for 7 days. And during that 7-day period, 7 days, okay? During that 7-day period, you were born.
Absolutely. And that's my testimony. There's a grander story to that. But that was where my life changed, and I feel that if I wasn't arrested that day, that something would have happened to me where I was on my way to.
Okay.
And God didn't reveal that to me until afterwards. Like, I think something would have really happened to me if I didn't get arrested.
So it saved you.
Yep. Spiritually and physically.
Nice.
Yeah. And that was on my 24th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, fast forward, as you said before, what do you think, you're a young lady, okay? What type of qualities do you think you could bring to other women who are listening to your story? How could you help them? How could you encourage them to empower them?
I always say I'm somebody who basically beat the odds, from having my parents in that situation and just all the different hurdles that I've been through, that you can make it, that you don't have to look at your situation and feel that this is all you're going to get and this is all you could be. You don't have to be your situation. I've overcome with the help of God. And also that there's going to be pain, there's going to be trials, there's going to be things that you had no hand in doing that you're going to experience. But, I was around people who were positive. I was around people who supported me and helped me. And that really helped me to be the person that I am right now. That just be encouraged, strive for what you want. I didn't stay where I was. I didn't let my circumstances overcome me.
Okay. So then how did you find yourself in a situation at 24 years old that if you chose the other road, it would have been the worst? So how did you find yourself in a situation like that?
Well, the situation I was in it was my birthday, and in my brain, I got a party, I got to hang out. And that ultimately led to bad decisions. And originally it was for unpaid parking tickets. That it wasn't even anything, very grand. And it just was an eye opener that things come back to you, be responsible. And that's why that situation was like an aha moment. I knew I put myself in that situation, and I took it like a woman. And with the help of my church family and those people in my life, they helped me move forward, into a better life for myself.
Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to understand is, how did the parking tickets play a role in your getting arrested? How did they know that?
My car was, and my license was suspended.
Okay.
So the police saw that, they ran that, and then I had unpaid parking tickets. That was a warrant.
Okay.
So that if you have a warrant, you have to go to jail until you pay that warrant.
Okay.
So, that was the time that I was in there.
Why did they pull you over?
I don't know. They just ran my plates and saw that. There wasn't any specific reason. I didn't use a blinker. I didn't run a stoplight. They just ran my plates and saw that.
Okay.
That's why I said I really can see how God saved me from going to where I was about to go.
Okay. And you were about to go to a party?
A place with someone.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now what I want you to tell the audience is, why should anyone want to come to your business for resume writing or career coaching?
Well, I have experience. I currently work in corporate America, a very large company, a very popular company, but I've been in corporate America for less than 20 years. But I have a lot of experience with interviewing, resume writing. I have the experience.
Okay, so give us an example of what a good resume is.
Well, one thing that I tell people are resumes are not the same. Back then and how we always were taught is on a resume, you just write down everything you did in each company, how long you were there, the company name, and then you just put some stuff at the end of it.
Right.
But resumes have evolved. They're very detailed now because employers want to see what you contributed to a company besides you just doing your basic duties. They want to see how you save the company money. They want to see how many people you impacted, whether you led webcasts of 1,500 people or you are property manager of 800,000 square feet. Numbers mean things, and how you accomplished certain awards or you save the company money. Those are the things that people want to see in resumes now.
What's really interesting to me with the resumes now? I noticed that people are still doing this, and they don't have to do it, but they're putting their addresses in resumes, and that's not necessary to do anymore. Like your email address is important.
You're right. You don't have to put your address.
Right.
Sometimes I say, hey, if you want to put your city where you live, that's fine. So they know that you're in the area, but you do not have to put your address.
And some people, for example, I live in Newark, so some people don't want to put, like if you're in an urban city, because that way they may say, oh, she's from Newark, New Jersey, so I'm not going to.
It's true.
They'll discriminate. So you just put your email address on there until they come in and they meet you and you sell them what you're able to offer the company.
It's true. It's absolutely true. Yeah. And that's what I tell my clients. We're going to leave your address off.
And now what about, for example, the other discrimination that I've noticed in resumes is when you date yourself. Like, for example, I'm in my 70s, right? So when I put a resume together, once they see when I graduated, when I went to college, when I graduated, they could kind of say, oh, okay, well then, she's not about that age or whatever, okay? So it could be age discrimination. So there's certain things that you don't have to put in there so that when they see you and you come, it's something that's totally different.
Yeah, I would say you can definitely leave that out depending on the position,
Exactly.
Because some places they want to make sure that you have those different degrees depending on the level of, degree of that industry.
Yes.
I'm not going to go for a child psychologist and don't put my degrees on there, something like that.
Right.
But I understand what you're saying.
You can just put your where you graduated from and everything. You don't have to put the year if you're older, because I remember when I experienced that. And what I experienced was, and I purposely did what I did as far as not putting that information on there. So when I came in, they automatically thought that I was, I guess, the age that they thought that I was until I gave them my license. And then on the license, it shows the age that you are. It was just too funny.
Well, no one's going to believe you. None of us believe you.
But it was just too funny, the response and everything. So that taught me certain things that I should or should not do. Because today there's so many discriminations that we go through. For example, I want to get back to the emails, the type of emails that we should.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't have like sexy red 2022 as your email address, your first name or last name or something that can be professional looking.
Right, exactly. And I remember when I started doing resumes, I started working in the prisons and everything, and so the brothers and sisters were bringing me their resumes, and so I could do them for them. And so when I looked at the email addresses, I said, wait, we can't do this. Can I have that? Trigger.com? Like, what is that? Okay. A big booty 22.com? No. We can't have that. I said, this is what you do. The good thing is that we can have 3 and 4 different emails, right? But you use, as you said, the professional email. Your name, your first name, and your last name. Like mine is Maryam Bay 18. Okay. Because there's like 17 more Maryam Bay, so I'm the 18th one. Okay, so I use that. Now, if you want to keep your hood or your nickname, because they would say, well, this is my nickname. Okay, I said, also, okay, well, it's your nickname. That's good, but now you're looking for a job, so you have to be professional.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're right. I didn't know there were so many Maryam Bays.
Yes, but now there's probably more. You know. And then the other thing that is just too funny, I know you've had to have experienced this, the voicemails, like when we're leaving a message, if I'm looking for a job, right? I tell them, I said, well, everybody who knows me know that I'm a 50 Cent fan.
Oh, okay? I heard you rapping.
So anyway, as much as I love 50 Cent, if he's looking for a job, I don't want to hear in the club. Okay? I want to hear a professional message. My name is Maryam Bay. Well, thank you for calling. Please leave a message.
Absolutely.
How important that is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Back in the day, we used to use music and, catch me later and all that stuff. No, just want to keep it basic and simple. And some people have more than one phone,
Right.
Maybe they give them the other number. Right. Some people have Google Voice, which is a free phone. That's right. Perfect to give an employer.
Right.
This way you can leave your own message, and it's very professional if you want something different.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good. Okay.
Now, you can text on there and everything.
Well, what do you think about people putting pictures on their resumes?
I would say it goes back to the discrimination part. And jobs want to be careful with that because they don't want to look like they're hiring someone based on their race or their age, so they can shy away from that because of the stipulations of are they discriminating?
Right.
So I would say don't do it. I would say stay away from it. Because employers have to protect themselves.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So when you say that you do more than just the resumes, you also deal with the attire, how a person comes for an interview.
Yes. But times have changed a little bit in regards to the standard, back in the day. Employers in the world are more accepting of people of color and our hair and different things like that.
Well, that's not kind of true. I mean, that's not necessarily true because we still got some discrimination going on based on our hair and everything. Like if we wear our hair natural and locks or whatever, that tends to be an issue with some, employers. They want us to have it straight and all that stuff. Not all employers, but I'm just saying some.
Yeah, I would definitely say don't wear any bright colors to interviews. Flashy earrings, big earrings, jewelry, not a lot of makeup, not a lot of cologne or perfume. You want your resume and your experience and, you stand out more than your appearance. So also, there's all little tiny tips for interviewing. Number one, remembering that interviewing is a two-way street. They're going to be asking you questions and you should be ready to ask them questions. Okay. Because you're going to be there more than you are with your family. You're spending 8-9 hours there. You're going to see them more. So you need to know, is this the job for me? Do I like it here? And also, they need you. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I'm so nervous. I have the interview. I want this job. But they're the ones who asked you to come in. You know, they're the ones who are looking for someone. So interviewing is a two-way street.
And so, and then, okay, we have to wrap up because time goes by so fast.
I know.
but we have to, they're probably doing that because of the competition. There's so much competition. Mm-hmm. So I want to, Brooke, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. You've been so grateful.
Thank you.
And thank you for all that you do. And thank you for all the inspiration that you've given us today.
Thank you.
My name is Maryam Bay, and I am the host of Television. And thank you so much.